Welcome to the best hour of their day podcast with your hosts, Jason Fernandez.
And me, Jason Ackerman. With more than 20 years in the business,
as both coaches and affiliate owners,
our passion is to help create world-class affiliates
and coaches by building
better boxes. Welcome to
the best hour of your day. All right, everybody. We are back. Best hour of their day, IRL, in real life. We are here at CrossFit Mojo.
2023 CrossFit Games.
2023 CrossFit Games. Right. Jay and Jay, don't get confused.
And Jay.
There's a handsome one and a short one.
My name is just Jay.
It's just Jay.
On the birth certificate, it is Jay.
I feel like that's a lazy move, parents. They're like,
it might be. It might
J-A-Y or just a J?
J-A-Y, yeah. Just a J.
Yeah. But, dude, I just want to give you a shout-out right now on the podcast. This place is badass. Like, we walked in and I was like, this is what it looks like when...
Top 5.
Thank you.
This is what it looks like when done right out of the gate.
Top 5 affiliates I've ever walked. Like,
yeah,
and we've been to hundreds. Like, I walked in, aside from the very attractive front desk staff, like, we're not even factoring that in. Like, a nice lobby, and Nate will drop in some B-roll. I love, like, the stadium seating you have over here.
Oh, yeah.
And even just we're not even talking about the gym floor. This is...
just
perfect.
The aesthetics alone, the flow of the gym, and again, like recovery room, kind of like a little, I don't want to say private training area, but like a private training
We do our
area.
on-ramp and personal training back there.
Yeah, all that stuff back there. Just, it's very obvious that you put a lot of thought into the flow, how this was all designed, dude. And I walked in here and I was like, I was proud. I was I've seen photos, but they definitely didn't do it justice.
Yeah,
for
appreciate
sure.
that.
This was like, I think if someone's looking to open an affiliate, this is what you do. This is what you do. You have a great front desk area. You have a great community area. You have an on-ramp area, because that's always an issue. Like, when do we schedule on-ramps? We've got classes. Like, we've got that. You've got a storage closet. Your bathrooms are sauna. We didn't even mention sauna, cold plunge.
Barrel sauna, cold plunge, all in the same room, which is ideal if you guys are going to set
even
that up.
little things. Remember the little clock.
Oh, yeah. You have the little, the bird, or what do they call those little tiny, they're like bird something.
Oh, in the recovery room?
In the recovery room. Yeah, there's like the bird timers or whatever.
I remember Matt will be very happy to hear you liked that, because he bought it specifically for the recovery room.
Remember
Shout out to you, Matt. Shout out to you,
Thank
Matt.
you, Matt.
Yeah, good job.
I'm a big fan of it.
But, and then if anybody's wondering, the circus is happening in the background. There's open gym time right now.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, and there's, several CrossFit Games athletes in here. There's a guy doing handstands on the stairs over there right now. So,
former British national team gymnast.
Well, there you go.
Yep.
Yeah. Nike's here.
Yep.
So talk a little bit about like what you guys have going on. We're here at the week of the games. Like, there's no shortage of stuff happening in your affiliate right now.
Yeah, it's crazy. So we've got Battle Cancer and Nike kind of doing a gym takeover. They partnered together. Battle Cancer is a really cool foundation. They've done a lot in Europe so far. They've done a few events in the U.S. Peak 360 and Mayhem, I believe, are the two events so far. But basically, they have resources for CrossFit coaches to be better informed when coaching someone that's either going through cancer treatment or recovering from cancer treatment.
Got it.
As well as resources for those recovering patients or cancer survivors. So really cool foundation. They're backed by Nike. I believe that's a partnership that's extending into the future, not just for the CrossFit Games.
That's awesome.
So that's awesome. So we are the Nike Metcon gym for the CrossFit Games. We got the Metcon 9s over on the wall for all of our classes. And open gym to try out.
We get a shot of this. So there's like a big rack of shoes over there. Like, if you go to the bowling alley, like, you want to rinse some shoes? That's what it looks like over there.
Exactly.
There's a creepy guy spraying aerosol in there too.
I don't know what that spray is, but well, we hope they're clean. Everybody gets to try the Metcon 9s. They're giving away tons of cool stuff.
You can say shit. It's
cool.
fine.
Right on. We got an arcade game in the lobby.
I saw that. The little crab thing.
There's a crane
No one
game.
ever
So there's
anything on that.
Yeah, it might be a little rigged, but there's a Whoop product, Hyper Ice Put product in there. Nike Metcon 9s are in there.
We're gonna go play after this.
Yeah, I want to go. Do they have a women's 8.5 in there?
They may. Aside from that, we opened up the gym all day long. So we've got open gym going on between our classes. We added 2 additional classes, 7:30 in the morning and a 4 p.m. And then tomorrow evening, we got a 4, a 5, and a 6:15 that are hosted by Bear Performance Nutrition and Annika Greer. So Annika Greer and Adam Klink are coming in, guest coaching that.
Adam Klink, that's the first guy to do the
5-minute mile, 500 back squat, and 50 unbroken pull-ups.
I'd love to chat with him. When are they here? Tomorrow night?
He's down from my neck of the woods. He was at Krypton for a long time.
He used to be the head coach Krypton.
Yeah, he used to be the head coach for a long time, and then moved. And then his dad, oddly enough, is ophthalmologist and was Logan's eye doctor when she was born.
Really? Is that the guy that did your eyes?
Yeah, that's why I can see better now.
Wait,
no, different guy. But just super nice dude, nice family, obviously. But that was like a weird serendipitous thing. Yeah.
BPN's been a product that we carry here as well as at Lean Feast, and so I've worked with them for a long time. So they're going to come in, give away a bunch of stuff. They've got 1,000 Laura Horvath specialty BPN shirts that we've been giving away here, and then they're going to go over and hit the games tomorrow and Friday.
If Jay wears one of those shirts, will he be fitter?
Can I do handstand push-ups?
I don't think there's a shirt that exists.
She can't do handstand push-ups. If you put one, you can't do handstand push-ups. I'm just kidding.
I think you got to go shirtless.
I'm actually a big fan of Laura Horvath. It's just
Laura's great.
She's one of the tops. Cody was saying she's one of the front runners.
Yeah, she's a favorite. And
we'll see. Insert now if she won.
Here are your CrossFit Games champions with 966 points. Let's hear it for Laura Horvath.
Yep.
We predicted it right here.
So we've got all our shirts. Tons of cool stuff going on this week.
And we'll kind of get into the gym, but this, and then when opening in the gym, these are a couple of things that I thought you nailed, which is understanding promotion, which is, obviously you got to get your gym up and running. So how long have you guys been open?
We opened in January.
Yeah, so
we're just over 6 months,
7 months in, right? And it looks beautiful. We'll talk about like your growth in that time frame. But promotion is something that you and I talked extensively about. I'm like, you cannot over promote this. Like, you need to take every opportunity to like get awareness and eyes on the facility. And clearly that has paid off. Like, you guys have this here. Well, just for reference for anybody watching this, how far are we from like downtown?
Without traffic, we're 12 minutes.
Okay.
I live 2 blocks from the Capitol. For the 5 a.m. in the morning, it takes me 12 minutes to get here.
Okay.
Otherwise, 15. Yeah, it's close.
But
7 miles.
We could say, like, it's almost downtown Madison.
Yeah, very close. Right off the Beltline.
Yeah, okay. So, just for reference.
Very accessible to the suburbs, which is a good thing.
Probably a big draw.
Madison is very interesting geographically because it's on that isthmus, so there's that small piece of land with the 2 lakes. So if you're in there, you're kind of blocked out
off
from getting there. Even though it's very urban, it's hard to get to from anywhere else. So the fact that we're just on the outside of that, and then all the higher income suburbs are on the other side of us, so it's very accessible from all sides.
When you chose this location, is that something you factored in?
Yeah, so I was looking at opening a CrossFit gym in Madison before I even moved to Madison. I was living in Vermont, and actually the first location that I really loved is 400 meters down the road that way.
Is that closer to downtown, or is this further away from 400 meters? Like, in which direction from like where you were?
Like lateral.
Okay, got it.
I mean, they're the same.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So why didn't you choose that location?
It's crazy expensive. It's the old Fitchburg Firehouse. It would be if anybody else wants to open a gym, it's freaking badass. There's four huge garage doors. It's really cool. It's still sitting vacant, but I want to say when I talked to the realtor, when you priced it out per square foot monthly, it was like $27,000 or something insane for the entire property. I was like,
that's expensive in like Manhattan.
Oh yeah, not Fitchburg, Wisconsin.
Yeah. But fire pole would be cool.
I'm definitely putting that in the workout.
No ropes.
Yeah.
We have a fire
pole. Spice it up. We lubed it up, everybody, so hold on tight.
As long as it doesn't spin, you're safe.
Yeah. Or the after hours.
Mine spins. So let's go back to kind of opening, right? So you're choosing a location.
Yep.
What are some of the key components of getting to today that you kind of mapped out to get to this point? I mean, like, this is... I don't want to understate this. Like, this is a gym you walk into, like, oh, you guys have been doing this for like 10 years.
Yeah.
Like, this is a beautiful facility.
We have. Not here. We didn't own our own gym. But I've been a CrossFitter since high school, 2008, 2009. I started coaching in 2014.
Okay.
And I've been part of some really good gyms. And I'm very much business-minded. So I've had my business plan written since I was a sophomore in college. And that was 2015.
I remember we talked about that, too.
So this has been in my mind. I've been making mental notes and actual notes of things I like and things I don't like at all the different gyms I've been a part of and different gyms I've visited. My former job, I traveled all over the place. I would drop in everywhere I went. And
what was your former job?
So I was the high performance director for a sports academy in Vermont.
Okay.
So my background, I was an alpine ski racer. I skied Division I in college, skied a bit nationally, internationally.
I get it. You guys, talking your own language over here.
Well, I mean, the goal was always like national team and Olympics. Right. Never quite got there, but I was very happy with how my career went. And so then I went into that after graduating college. I went back to a sports academy in Vermont that specializes in ski racing in Winter Olympic sports. And I kind of took the reins on implementing what they called their high performance center.
Okay.
So that involved getting accredited by the national governing body to be recognized as a performance. We basically had to check some boxes off, facilities, programming, all this stuff. That's the thing that I kind of took on and built out for 3 years, and it was really cool. And so, as a coach, I was also a sport coach, an alpine ski coach. So we were over in Switzerland and Austria and Germany.
For anybody that's freaked out back here by what's happening in the background.
Holy smokes.
This is the same guy, though. He was a former what?
He was British national gymnast.
Yeah.
Yesterday he was in our noon class, and there were wall walks. And first of all, each rep took him maybe 1 second, but he would kick up into a handstand hold, walk back in about 3 steps freestanding. His whole body hit the wall at the same time, and then he just dropped back down again.
That's how I do it.
And his poor partner, she's over there next to him like, can you slow down? Because we're alternating here. Let's just chill out.
Hey, bro.
It's a 20-minute workout.
There's no awards here.
It's on a Tuesday. We're in Madison.
Chill out, bro.
That was on a Tuesday.
I want to go back 1 second. Yeah. 2008-9 high school?
Yes. So I actually went to the same school I went back to work at.
And,
I was an
you were in Pittsfield at the time, Mass?
No, Stratton Mountain School in Stratton, Vermont.
Okay, so that's
So it was a boarding school, focused on ski racing, and my strength and conditioning coach there, while I was there, found CrossFit. He was a traditional strength and conditioning coach. He was awesome, but he found CrossFit, got really into it, and we started doing CrossFit without actually knowing that there were CrossFit gyms. We'd just see it on our program for the day, and we're like, well, this one's gonna suck, And then a year or two later, I realized, that was Fight Gone Bad. This one was Jackie.
That's cool.
And so I didn't even know I was doing it.
Pieces together.
And every year on his birthday, we would do this thing called the birthday workout, and it was Murph, but it was 100 burpees, 200 sit-ups, 300 squats with the miles on each side. We did that every year. And
did it make you a better skier?
100%. So I was kind of into it, the competitive aspect of it in high school, the CrossFit workouts, but not down the rabbit hole because I didn't know what it was yet. I graduated. It took 2 post-grad years to ski race competitively before going to college. The first year, I thought I needed to get big and strong. And I was taking bulk supplements, and I was squatting and lifting heavy, and I was 198 pounds. I was just under 200, and right now I'm 175. It was big for me.
You're 6 foot?
I'm 5'11", yeah. Okay. But it was big for me. I had terrible season.
Okay.
Terrible season. Was not on track to qualify for the University of New Hampshire men's alpine team. Was the best team in the country.
I was gonna say it's probably really good.
Yeah, it was the best team in the country, and I was trying to get on that team, and I wasn't there. And I was like, I gotta figure myself out. So I went home that summer. We didn't have a CrossFit gym yet in Pittsfield, Mass, but there was a gym called Raw Sports Performance, and I walked in the door, and he's got CrossFit workouts written all over the boards. He's got the CrossFit posters. He was down the rabbit hole. I just started working. I was like his first client, and we just worked out together. I give him $5 a session.
That's awesome.
And
great rate.
And I started looking at what I was eating. So I went from 197. I was moving slow. I was strong, but I was slow. To the next year, I was 175. Way more powerful. Power to weight ratio is big in that sport. It's very explosive.
Alpine skiing?
It's through the gates, down the hill.
Like slalom,
giant slalom, super G, and downhill, or the 4 events. Yeah.
So you do 4 different.
It's 4 events. In college, it's just slalom and giant slalom. But yeah. So I needed to change what I was doing because it wasn't working.
This is so funny because this is one of the examples that Greg talked about.
Oh, with Eva T.
Early on in the CrossFit Journal. Yeah. He's just like, we don't know why downhill skiers get better when they have pull-ups versus not having pull-ups. So
it was huge. I came back the next season, looked different, felt different, and had a completely different outcome.
You made the team.
And I made the team. I came in and I had the best international ranking of anybody on the team in giant slalom, which was my best event.
Giant slalom is just a longer slalom race?
Here, move this way real quick. Yeah.
So the gates, there's 2 gates with a panel in between them instead of that one single pole. So they're a bit further apart. It's faster. That's the big main differences. We don't need to get into a class about alpine ski racing.
You ever go to Lake Placid?
All the time. Yeah. I was there all the time. I bring my skates. We'd play hockey after the races all the time.
Is there really a giant alligator there?
Oh, yeah. You got to watch out for it. Even in the winter, it'll come up through the ice. Terrible movie. But, so anyway.
Not worse than Anaconda, but okay.
Yeah, true. Had a really good season, made the team, exceeded the expectations. I felt undervalued on the team once I was there. I qualified for NCAAs every year. I competed at NCAAs 3 years and was an All-American my senior year. And I felt like I was always outperforming. I kind of walked myself onto the team. I didn't have to try it once I got there. I was given a spot, but I wasn't heavily recruited.
Right.
And so I attributed that a lot to CrossFit. Fast forward a little bit, once I got there, I went to CrossFit Portsmouth, which was right down the road from UNH. I knew one of the coaches from my skiing days, and very quickly got pushed into coaching, which was awesome. I was really excited about it. But I would train there, and I would go do my strength and conditioning work with the UNH ski team. So I was working out twice a day like crazy, and my strength and conditioning coach hated it. He's like, what are you doing? And then my wife, Morgan, she skied at UNH. She came in the next year, was doing the same thing. And my roommate, who was a really good skier, he was also into CrossFit. He was doing the same thing. And we would get flack from our strength and conditioning coach. And I was like, Chappie. His name's Chappie. Massive brute of a former Canadian Football League guy.
He's bringing that up because my son's nickname is Chappie.
My grandma's nickname is Chappie. My middle name's Chapman. Look at that.
That's his middle name, Chapman.
There we go.
This is really crazy. All J's.
Yeah.
Chappie.
Weird.
Yeah. Do you know the guy?
Division I athletes.
Division I athletes.
Yeah.
We all like the movie Iron Eagle.
We're connecting.
Yeah. They all like the movie Iron Eagle.
Yeah. But anyway, so they hated it because this is 2013, early days.
Before they understood.
They didn't understand it. Exactly. We're going off to do CrossFit competitions. Like, what are you doing?
But also kind of like at the peak too, so it's not like underground and people are like, this is dumb.
But I think it was
but from like the
NSCA
standpoint, they weren't big fans of us.
Well, they're still not big fans, but that's okay.
Fair.
Yeah.
Before coaches realized it was a great conditioning program for just about any sport.
And if you go into, I haven't been back in a while, but for a long time, if you went into the UNH strength and conditioning room, they've got the record board for all the different teams. And for alpine skiing, men's and women's, it's squat, clean, bench press, and then the power index is those three divided by your body weight. Mm-hmm. And me and my roommate had all of them for the guys, and Morgan, my wife, had 3 of the 4 for the women.
Hey, Nate, put that in right here.
Shocker.
Put that in right here.
It's Nate. Like, who's doing, we're the ones that are going to do the CrossFit.
Are you mad because we're breaking your board up there?
Yeah. and we're like outperforming.
Sorry, we didn't realize winning was bad.
Yeah. Like, did I break it?
High score, did I break
What's that mean?
Is it good?
So anyway, it was huge. It was huge all the way through my ski career. When I went back to Stratton, I was tasked with completely renovating our strength and conditioning room. If you ever get a chance to Google Stratton Mountain School Strength and Conditioning Room, it's decked in Rogue. It's beautiful now. It looks like a CrossFit gym. I started a CrossFit class with the faculty and parents, and that was a fundraising mechanism because the parents would come in for free and work out, and then they donate to the gym specifically.
That's cool.
And so it's always been a huge part of my life. Long story short, but it was massive in my athletic success.
Well, this is kind of like what's your origin story? Like that's kind of it, which obviously makes all of this make much more sense as we're kind of looking around. It's like clearly spent time in a strength and conditioning room, understand like the athletic portion of it, understand the competitive portion of it, and then strength and conditioning, it's a business, right? Yeah. It's part of a larger athletic program, which is a business at all school. It's like largely what pays a lot of bills and salaries in school. So all of that becomes readily really, really obvious in this space. So again, like you've done a really fantastic job here. So why did you move to Madison?
Oh, she just walked away. My wife was just there. Morgan
said something about like wanting to leave you. And that way.
I was like, just stay back. So she's from Madison, Wisconsin.
Oh, got it.
It's great. Like we say every year at the games, we love it here.
Yeah. And so she fooled me a little bit. I would come and visit her every year, but it was
only
in the summer.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this
place
is
here.
great.
It's like all the time.
Sunny year round.
Crushing our tires there, or our cones even. Every year I'd come. We'd go to a Brewers game. We'd be up in Wisconsin Dells, going to the water parks, doing all the fun activities. And we move here, and like 2 months later, it's just freezing cold, and I'm staying inside. And I'm like,
it can't be worse.
And there's no mountains to ski on.
Right. It can't be worse than Vermont.
No, it's very much the same. It's just flat.
It's just flat, which is interesting because it's like, who was I with yesterday? They're like, Wisconsin is, or Madison is flat. And I was like, well, until you get to like downtown and then it's oddly hilly downtown.
I mean, there's
weird.
hills, but not to ski on.
I went for a walk,
I know.
and like at home, it'll be like, you're at 5,000 feet. And here I was like, you're at 18 feet. And I was like,
you're at 58 feet.
Yeah. It's much easier to walk.
So, and then how far in front of, I don't remember, what was your actual opening day? Like what day did you open?
So we did a soft open.
Yep.
I started holding classes on December 11th. and then we did a grand opening on January 15th.
I know it was January. I don't remember exactly when. Yeah. Okay.
So we didn't even really promote. I mean, we were promoting, but we weren't like officially open yet until January 15th.
Right. So let's go back to pre-opening.
Yeah.
So how far prior to like even running like a soft open schedule do you start this process, like the planning, the designing, putting all the admin in place back in on the back end so that you have a functioning operational business on day one?
We signed our lease on October 27th, and I didn't have much done before that because it happened pretty quick. Shout out to our landlord. He's a marketing guy, and he thought CrossFit was a franchise. And so when he went to list this place, he pulled the emails from CrossFit HQ and emailed them, great location for your next franchise. One of my good friends works for CrossFit HQ, sent me that marketing material. James Bolognese, he's a finance contractor.
He was actually, for the open, my partner.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
he's going to be here today. He flies in today.
I've never met him, yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah. So, awesome dude. He knew we were looking.
He's like, hey.
Just slid it in. I texted him back. I could go back and look. Maybe 3 minutes later, checking it out on Friday.
How proactive of that landlord.
I called the landlord immediately.
That was like, I've never heard of a landlord.
Yeah. I mean, well,
most landlords suck.
So he's a fractional CMO. So like he does marketing for companies. So he has all the software to just pull emails.
How long was this place available that he was like, hey, I should do that?
So it was still a business. It was a karate studio.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he knew they were leaving?
Yeah. So that ended at the end of October. I couldn't get in until November. Yeah.
And we just
flipped
had the foresight to be like.
Yeah. He gave me 2 months. I asked for it, but he ended up giving me 2 months rent free to like get off the ground. Yeah. So I didn't have to pay until January.
He was absolutely right. I mean,
this
is perfect.
I mean, it's probably, how big is the total building?
6,900 square feet.
And you have all of that. Yeah.
This is probably what, 3,000?
Probably 3,000.
Yeah. This is 2,900.
Yeah. So
I mean, if you told me to like, we got
with that closet,
I eyeballed that for the record. But if you were like, hey, we got a big chunk, like divide it up how you want, I'd be like, this is kind of how I want it. Like maybe a tweak over there. I don't know.
Talking about
2 months might seem a little, or 3 months might seem a little short, but again, going back to like you had written a business plan a long time ago. You're putting things together. This isn't just like I had an idea and then like a day later I'm like, oh, let's sign a lease.
The first, and I don't know if this is recommended from a negotiating standpoint with your landlord, but I walked in here to look at it the first time and I had my business plan printed with my financial projections for the first 7 years, and we sat down in the front and I was like, this is what you're asking per square foot. These are my financial projections. This is what I need to make it worth it for me. Like, yes, I'm making money, and I could make money at what you got it listed at, but I'm scraping by. Right. It's not worth it. And, I kind of showed him my vision, and he was all in.
That is, I think you're going to say best practice. Like, being transparent
he signed
talking
up
to your landlord is not a bad thing.
Also he paid 6 months paid in full in December.
For him to work out.
Yeah. Before we even opened.
Perfect. But that whole process, and then, because I don't remember when did we start working together?
I contacted you guys in October. Once it looked like it was happening,
you're like, let's go.
It was early, yeah.
So I remember we started talking, and I remember you gave me the timeline. I was like, oh, we got to go. We have to go now. But all of that, like you showing up prepared, those are all very strong correlates with like operating a good business. Like you're not only looking at the upside, because right there, that tells me you come into like, this is what I need to work. Like you're looking at risk and liability and being like, here's what I need to make this business function correctly. Not just like scrape by and be like, hey, thanks for giving me an opportunity here. Like
all of your margins going to your landlord.
And it's just terrible. But that also is something that most of us, until you get burned a couple of times, is like the landlord wants a good tenant.
Yes.
They want a tenant that is going to be a healthy business that can stay here a long time. And nobody that's running on the fringes, on the margins, is going to be really, really successful. And then because now that's risk for the landlord, right? They have to go find another tenant. You got to pay another agent out for all that kind of stuff.
Empty time at the
you're going to incur that cost. So no, I think that is what you should show up with. It also gives you a little bit of leverage in the negotiation, because the landlord is immediately like, oh, this guy's no dummy. He came here prepared and like has his shit together.
In my projections, we're very conservative. And I just told him that. I'm like, this is conservative, but I need to be conservative. And
he's like,
I showed the space to a guy a couple days ago. I think it was like a powerlifting gym or something. And the guy was telling him, I could be a 7-figure business year one. He's like, there's no way.
Never.
There's no way.
Said no powerlifting gym ever.
The landlord was like, this guy's delusional telling me that,
Oh.
He didn't have anything prepared. He was just, firing from the hip.
Yeah, he's like, how does it feel to be dumb?
Yeah.
I think it's great that you had that conversation. And now you have so once he joins, now he's invested. Now he wants you to stay in, be successful.
For sure. He's great landlord. Best landlord I've ever had.
Are you struggling to manage your gym efficiently and still losing clients in the process? I know I've been there. Wodify solved that problem for me. Wodify is a top-rated customer retention platform trusted by over 5,000 other fitness businesses. My favorite part about Wodify is everything is in one place. I don't need this huge software stack, a texting platform, an email platform, a merchant processing platform, a WOD tracking platform. I can do everything in one platform. I can communicate with my staff, my members seamlessly, and I can interact with them about the things that matter most. Give Wodify a try today and join me and thousands of other businesses that have already transformed their operations by going to wodify.com/podcast. And the best part is you'll get 50% off your first 3 months by using my link. So, okay, so you guys are operating for 7 months.
Yep.
I had given you a bunch of different moving targets that we moved, and you've hit all of them in the time frame.
Give a couple examples.
So the first one is just hey, 35 people essentially during soft opening.
So,
hit it. You hit that. So between December and January, you're at 35 members.
We're over it. Yeah.
Yeah, he was over. They hit 50, and then we immediately were I'm 75, and then you guys went over that. Where are you guys at currently?
It's been a crazy week or so. Hey, there's your partner from the Open, James Bolognese.
He doesn't know me.
He knows. He knows. Anyway, he just flew in. So, we are in the ballpark of 115.
That's what I thought.
That's incredible, dude. That's
so
6 months open.
Our numbers were pretty right on because in my projections, my goal for grand opening day was 50, and we were at 70.
70 something. Yeah, I was 72.
And then for year one, my goal was 105, and we passed that at month 6.
Yeah, because we looked at it and you were like, hey, here's what we need. This is our break-even point. And I was like, okay, well, you have to know that number. But then let's get you paid. Let's make sure that this is a fully functioning business as fast as possible. Because now you walk in here and you're like, this is fun.
Yeah.
What is happening right now?
Awesome.
This is fun. And again, that is what the gym should be.
Once we get past
the
money,
black since the first month.
Since the first month, right? And that was the goal, right? You know all of that stuff. You're like, hey, here's our cost. Here's what we're coming in with. Here's how we need to get past that. And then you guys hammered the marketing. So talk about some of the marketing stuff or the kind of awareness things that you did prior to opening.
Well, the first thing is I am extremely thankful that I didn't stick to my original plan, which was when Morgan and I just committed to moving out to Madison and leaving our old lives. We wanted to open a gym, and originally we wanted to do it immediately. We knew nobody. We would have been one of those gyms that opens up and nobody walks through the door because you don't know anybody.
That's my nightmare.
Yeah. So had we stayed in Vermont or Massachusetts and opened a gym, we probably would have been all right. Yeah, because we knew a lot of people. But that was a terrible idea. We didn't do it. Thankful for that. So we've been CrossFit coaches. We've been active members of this community. We also own a meal prep company, so we meet a lot of people that are health conscientious through that. And we have really good relationships with.
Immediately.
We opened, so that was my project when we got here, and I opened it the next spring. So we moved here in July. We didn't end up till actually opening until April 2020. Don't recommend opening a month into a global pandemic, but
people still need food.
We got kicked in the teeth, but we made it through it, and met a lot of good people in the community through that and CrossFit, and so we weren't complete no names when we opened. And then from a marketing standpoint, I hammered referral marketing.
Right.
I just hammered it, and people know us, and my wife and Ewan as well. You met Ewan earlier.
Yeah, he's the GM
awesome
here.
Guy,
Yep.
Awesome guy. He does
Which we should mention, you have a GM, you're 6 months in.
Yeah. And
that looks like Justin Medeiros.
Yeah. Or at least we got a picture from last year at Lean Feast, the two of them. Yeah. So we were in the community, it was huge, and then hammering referral marketing. I still haven't pulled it back to that $75 number. I just give out $100 cash for the referral because
both directions.
Yes.
Which we recommend cash to.
Yeah.
You know what's really awesome, Fern? It's this is an affiliate U box.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you're doing everything. Even as I'm looking, I'm like, oh, he's got the standard shirt that we could throw this on any color. You got the whiteboards. You're doing classic CrossFit, one workout a day.
I love the whiteboards. We could have gone TVs very easily in the last several gyms I've been part of. Go TVs, and I'm like, I love the whiteboards. My home gym in CrossFit Pittsfield, which is my hometown, they've got the big, beautiful whiteboards, and I've always loved it. I've always loved the names on the board. We do scores normally. It's just been too crazy this week to catch people's scores, and people love it. A lot of our members that were at former gyms, they're like, this is so much more motivating than like having an app. We do have the app as well, but
you
this
walk
is
in,
more
you start looking at scores. Like, I want to beat this guy.
Yeah.
This is like where analog is still the way to go.
It's still valuable, dude. Like analog,
and you
that
could
portion.
You could put a TV up for the record,
but it's also way more interactive than. And I don't have any problem with tech. Like, we have TVs, and we use those for check-in purposes. But like, we also have the whiteboard, and the whiteboard's where the magic happens.
That's where you guys do the briefs still.
It's still where we do the briefs, right?
So you do the brief right here in front of the day.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we just move things around, and like sometimes we need the wall, so our stuff moves continuously. Yeah, so like the rowers might have to go in front of Monday and Tuesday, but we're on Thursday or something like that. But yeah, I love having the week because the PMers that never really meet the 5-amers, they'll go in and check their score from earlier, and vice versa. The 5-amers will come in the next day and look at what's it's community building. Even in the best, most interactive gyms on the app, what's the buy-in of people actually logging? It's not that high of a percentage. So some people never meet or never even see their names. Right. Here, if you walk in the room for the class, you're going on the board. Yeah. So everyone sees everybody's names. Even so even if you never actually get
the other thing is, you guys can't see this, but like, he has the kind of old school, like, not every gym has this, but this is a wall of whiteboards here. Right, so you got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I love having that. We just don't have the space for it, but I love having it because you can look back on the week and be like, oh, Jay did that on Tuesday, and I'm like, okay, cool, that's awesome.
And I would love to utilize this space for like plate storage or things like that, but
just give it a take.
But yeah, exactly. It just means sometimes we got to move the bikes around, we got to move the rowers around, but it's worth it.
Yeah,
and you went the next step. You put frames because these are just shower boards from like Home Depot.
Right. Yeah, those are like,
but they look like whiteboards now because you've gone the extra mile. No, those. But I'm saying, like, this is like, hey, here's how you open an affiliate. And here are all the little small things, and Jay's just doing each and every one of those. And from day one, you say you're at 150 members. The other benefit is we know they're good quality members on agreements.
Awesome.
So you're not worried what's going to happen. Like,
and that,
you're setting yourself up for so much success. And
that was a huge part of. I expressed it from the start when I wanted to sign up with you guys. It's like, I have a pretty good idea of, like, I'm not clueless when it comes to CrossFit gyms.
You're already running it. You're in a gym. You're already running
really good systems that I want to be able to access from the gate, right from the jump. I want to be set up for success. So making the switch to 4-week billing before we ever open, no one's ever even mentioned it.
You didn't even have to. Nobody even mentioned it. You just open with it.
Going with the paid-in fulls. We got a ton of paid-in fulls right out of the gate. It gave me the working capital to feel safe.
So I wanted to get there, and I'm glad you brought that up because this is one of the things during that launch. Everybody goes the complete opposite direction. It's like, we'll just discount the shit out of everything. And I'm like, no, take $2,000 from as many people as it'll give it to you. Because
immediately a couple months ahead. And then we did some things. We put shower in, which brought us back. But then
But you were able to not out of pocket.
Right.
Exactly.
He cash flowed all of it, which was the point, which is like, hey, really push these out of the gate because, like, you have no idea. And it doesn't have to be ridiculous. Like, you went with kind of our standard offer. You didn't do any ridiculous paid.
Can you be specific?
12%.
12% off for the paid in full?
Correct.
That's somewhere between like 8 and 12 for that, especially if you're doing 4-week billing because you get 13 billing settings.
And that's how I explained it to him. I'm like, you're basically now just paying monthly, paying in full.
But and the discount is worth it from your end because you're getting that money in advance. Yeah. If you were to use that money and pay interest on it, it would be far more probably than that 8 to 12%, right? So you're getting
it's worth it. Yeah.
That's when offering a discount is worth it when you're collecting money anyway.
And that was the other thing with discounts is that I've never been part of a gym that doesn't just discount for random things. And I, from you guys, decided, no, like, if you want a discount, you pay for a commitment, right?
There's nothing wrong with discounts. Again, the discounts have to make sense financially.
I
know.
It's a pro move, Jay. It's a pro move.
I got that.
Pro move. But they have to make sense. If they don't make sense, you're literally just flopping yourself off of the knees and you be Jay's size.
And we get plenty of people to ask for it. Hey, do you do teacher or military? No.
So you don't offer any of that?
No. And they say,
I told them not to.
That's cool.
Yeah. They say no. Or I say no, and they say, okay, and then they sign up.
Right. Like, for the record, people say, like, I know you guys are against discounts. We're not against discounts. Like, if you want to offer law enforcement, teacher, nurses, go for it. Yeah. Be specific in it, and don't overshoot that discount.
The discounts need to be, they need to be designed mathematically Correct. Meaning, like, it needs to make sure that you're not actually taking a loss. It needs to take your margin factored in. They need to be incentive driven.
Yeah.
Meaning, like, hey, if we're going to do that, what do I get out of the business out of it? Which mean longer length of engagement, more upfront capital, at which point I can reinvest that. But it can't just be like, oh, you have a job, you get a discount. I'm like, what? That makes no sense.
Yeah, by the way, that job, pays more than these other jobs that don't get a discount.
So I think you did that. I want you to go back to, because even people that we work with quite a bit are still hesitant on the referrals and stuff like that. And I've seen, other experts in this business like, this is a terrible idea. And I'm like, I don't know. I have 500 gyms across thousands of people that say otherwise. So you actually went above what we recommend.
Yeah. We typically recommend approximately 40%, right? Because then you're still profitable on that 1 month.
That one transaction.
You're still not in the negative because you have 2 people paying now.
Yeah.
But it is, and you know what? If you're going to give away more, give it to your members that are, singing your praises.
When I explained that in an email to new members or our initial members, when I rolled it out, after like the first, probably, month, 4 weeks, then I finally set it up. But I explained to them, I would much rather give you guys the money than Facebook to put a little image up that somebody's going to scroll by and say, oh, there's a touch point for you.
And it's not as
low
warm
value.
lead.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So I pitch it to them as an investment in the gym and growing it, and I'd much rather give them the money than some marketing company if I don't have to.
Well, that now becomes a very personal transaction, right? So I don't want to jump over that. Like that conversation right there, the subtlety of you saying, like, what you're saying is, I'm going to spend this money anyway.
Yeah.
I prefer to give it to you.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, okay, great. Let me go ahead and do that.
I think people didn't think I was serious because we did our first Bring a Friend week and somebody brought in 2 members, and the next week I walked in and gave them $200 and they're like, you serious?
Walk us through
I told you that.
Your first Bring a Friend week. How many people came in as guests?
Guests was somewhere between 20 and 25.
I was going to say it was in the 20s.
Yeah, it was in the 20s, low 20s.
But that's pretty good for a new spot.
Yeah.
Where they're probably already bringing their friends. Come try this new thing out. So of the 20 to 25, how many joined?
9.
Great percentage. I mean, I always
we always say
ask,
15 to 40% is probably like what you should be shooting
spot
for.
on. But the higher the number, the lower that percentage typically gets. So Joel, for example, Joel Stacy had a very slow bring, but he closed 100%.
Yeah.
I'm like,
you have like Allison at Odin. I think she had 61.
She might be the record. Her and Louie, right? Louie had 63.
I think Pua might have gotten the record. But
Kapua?
Kapua.
Yeah.
But it was like some ridiculous number.
Yeah.
That was because she did her first one in Hawaii after the pandemic.
But no, it wasn't her first one.
Oh, no?
No, it was after that. Yeah.
Still.
Yeah.
I mean,
either way.
Great job.
But we've been averaging, I've been running it. It was funny. I was at a summit and like one of the round tables, and somebody was talking about it, and then they're like, "Hey, what do you think?" And I was like, "I actually made that." And they were like, "What?" And they're like, "That whole idea that you just pitched to me,
mine.
It's mine. I made it." And
hear me out, Ferd.
Hear me out.
You bring your friends.
You bring your friends, right? But it works for very specific reasons, and people are like, "Whatever," and I'm like, "No." I'm like, it's not just a random thing, right? Like, there's a whole process.
Every 8th Thursday of the month,
right?
And we had one that was really cool. She's a member, but still, she is friends with one of our members who's been doing CrossFit for a decade. And throughout that decade, she has gone to countless free workouts with her friend, and she gave us a great testimonial. She was saying, the past 10 years, I've done tons of free CrossFit gym workouts, and I've never really been sold. I've never really felt comfortable. I've always felt a little judged. She came in here, she paid for herself and her husband for 6 months, paid in full, and is just completely an awesome member.
Right, and this is the point, right? Just give people the opportunity. And what you said is, like, a lot of people do those referral things designed poorly, and then they don't close the loop. Yeah. Like, there's no sale, and I'm like, well, they came, and I'm like, what happened? And they left, and I'm like, did you say anything?
The member that brought her in told me, hey, I got 2 people to come in for Bring a Friend Week next week. They just come with me to the free classes. They're not going to sign up. She prefaced the week with that.
It's like, challenge accepted.
I was like, that's fine. It's Bring a Friend Week. Right. It's going to be fun. Bring whoever you want in. And I didn't even expect it. Yeah, they got the same touch points as everybody else, but they were sold. She says from the first class, because we always do a dad joke at the start of class. We got a calendar.
Nice.
It's like the icebreaker. And she heard that. She's like, this is awesome.
I love it here.
Yeah. This is the exact difference in someone telling you what happens on the floor isn't as important as what's behind the snes. Right. Because that they didn't join because they realized what a great spot this was or what your margins were. They joined because when they walked in, you told the dad joke, you introduced yourself, and I'm sure the class was, very, very fun. Yeah. Where everybody's like, oh, the business is what's important. Like, no. That was actually what was least important. Because that person came in and enjoyed herself, and joined two people joined.
Well, this is the misunderstanding. You have to have a good business plan. You have to have systems in place. Like, people, somebody was like, oh, we're like, you guys don't really do systems. I'm like, we're the systems people, bro. Like, we have more systems than you could shake a stick.
We might as well be like Marking the Noise says, right? We might as well be known as breathing.
Yeah, as the breathing people. But all of that stuff is not what the customer gets to taste.
Yeah.
That stuff is the end result that finally makes it to the table. If it was a restaurant, they're like, oh, this is really good. I'm like, it's not really good on accident. Yeah. Like, what you tasted is amazing. There's 58 steps behind that made that plate show up to you to have the best food ever, just like it is in a gym. There's 58 steps that somebody walks into a gym and they're like, there's a huge impact that was started way out in front of that they walked in and they're like, I like it here. Yeah. Like, right out of the gate from the dad joke. I mean, that's not an accident. That's a system. You're like, we have it on the board over there. It's a calendar.
And, people that say that about Affiliate U, for most, I would say 80% of our affiliates start only in the business area. And we have to push them, like, get in the coaches development, like, get all of your coaches, get them involved. But from day one, it's like, let's look at your money, let's fill out the assessment. So, like, it's 100% business and systems. We just happen to also have a tremendous...
Be really good at this, is where we started.
With some great other heavy hitters in there.
So, so talk to me a little bit about, like, what are some of the key components that you think you got right with regard to opening? Obviously, I'm sure there's a laundry list of things you're like, I would have done that differently.
Yeah. One big thing was it's really easy to spend way too much money on things that you don't need starting out. It's kind of pulling myself back there.
What were some of the things you wanted and didn't get?
I mean,
you don't have any skiers, and you're a skier.
We chopped to the equipment list real quick out of the gate.
Shout out to CrossFit PFD from Australia. They broke our skier yesterday, so it's in the back room.
Shout out, guys.
Yeah, nice work, guys.
But I noticed that because I'm like, oh, skier, no skiers.
Yeah, I got snapped. So we started out with 5 assault bikes that are pretty old. I mean, most of our stuff was used starting out.
But where you're going with that is, like, because we chopped your original buy list.
Yeah, we had more rowers. Yeah, and we ended up saving a boatload of money on a very fortunate circumstance of being able to buy a gym out of everything in their building.
That's a real thing.
For a good deal. Yeah,
that's a real thing.
I was able to negotiate it. That's
a reflection of you doing the right things.
Yeah.
While other affiliates weren't.
Yeah. So I bought all that, and then I figured out what I need to fill in around that, and we ended up spending a fraction of what I thought I was going to have to originally.
Yeah. What are
most
those
people
old
overspend.
Rowers?
Those are the assault rowers. Those are new rowers.
Those are new?
Those are from Assault Fitness.
Are they comparable to the...
Yeah, meters, they take longer. Calories are pretty close.
What were you going to say they came from?
They got a padded seat, which is nice. Assault did an activation last year at the gym that I got all my stuff from, so those were from that.
Yeah.
Nice. What's like one unique piece of equipment here? I know you got an assault runner over there.
You always like that. You're like, what's one? And I'm like, we got a weird ab mat over there.
I like
we've kind of got all the normal stuff. Disco ball. I've got a bench for every rack, and we bench press, which I love and our members love because a lot of gyms you either floor pressing or you're not doing any lateral pressing.
We have 10. I think you should. I think most people don't do enough bench pressing.
Yeah, the last few gyms I've been part of, we had like one bench.
No, we bench probably as frequently as we squat.
You keep your benches on the wall though, right?
Yes. Yeah. We do.
Yeah. So our stuff's all kind of all over the place right now because of the activations and stuff. It usually looks a little cleaner, but it's good. We got a lot of dumbbells. We do a lot of dumbbell work, which is awesome.
And what programming are you following?
Mayhem.
But this is not full Mayhem.
So for this week, we've made a few adjustments. We're doing team workouts, and then we adjusted.
You have a ton of drop-ins, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this morning we had like 27 people at the 6:15 and around 20 at the 5 a.m. And it was barbells.
Not one of them wrote their name on the board, turds.
Yeah, I'm going to have to talk to Ewan about that one.
It's been nice working here, Ewan, but you're out.
Jeez. Nice knowing you, buddy.
So, okay. So obviously you didn't overspend right out of the gate.
Didn't overspend.
And we
out of
talked
the gate,
about that too, because a lot of people overspend, and I'm like, you're going to need that capital for either coaches or stuff that you're not prepared for. And I'm like, you don't overspend on the equipment out of the gate. Like
every time you and I knock off
cut that in half.
$10,000.
I cut that in half. Yeah.
Hey, can I ask a workout question?
Sure.
I know I'm a level 4 and all, and the knowledge is out.
This is still up for debate.
But there's games athletes like going hard working out today.
Yeah, it's wild.
I'm like,
It's wild.
Shouldn't you be like laying on a couch
It
resting?
looks like they're going hard. That's the thing.
that could
to
be.
us mere mortals.
But I'm just like,
That's
like
60% right there.
if I were competing tomorrow,
Yeah,
I'd be like, I'm not doing anything
Yeah,
today.
we got
Well, that's
Jack
how you
Farlow
are
doing bar
always.
muscle-ups. And
If I have to work tomorrow, I'm off today.
Yeah.
I'm off today.
But it's interesting, right? Like
Yeah.
they're going ham
and they've
out
been
there.
some of these teams have been in
Years
every
today.
single day. Like, you guys going to take a rest?
Yeah, you got 5 days of competition.
They literally got here last week. They've come in every day. I'm like, Jesus.
Well, excuse me. If you want to get a little sciencey, you can see a dramatic drop-off percentage-wise in cardiorespiratory endurance just with 1 or 2 days off.
Yeah.
And it'll take you about a week. To
I
get that
feel
back.
it.
Yeah.
I talked to a few teams yesterday. They were saying like they did a 2-hour training session yesterday. It was lighter, lower intensity, but then today was zone 2, and then that was going to get ready.
Yeah,
for
I
it.
know. I know. There's something like you want to move and
Yeah.
you don't want to wake up tomorrow
Yeah, yeah.
stiff. But I just see them. I'm like, that's beyond just moving. You're doing Fran.
Yeah.
Over
Is that
there.
a max clean and jerk?
Yesterday, Danielle Brand was in here, and she was doing double kettlebell clean and jerks and legless rope climbs with like 53s.
Dude.
In legless rope climbs, just busting them out.
It's also like you're not gonna get them. Like if you don't have them, you don't have them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
clearly got
yeah,
them.
no.
She's
But-
got them. No, she's been to Virginia Beach quite a few times, and
Yeah.
she'll be in
And
the.
if
I'll walk
Danielle
in.
Brandon wins the games, insert her right
Yeah.
here.
Come to CrossFit Mojo.
Yeah, every time I see her working out at the gym, she's like, I'm like, that just looks like it hurts, dude.
Crazy.
Like, it's just
But yeah,
such
no,
a painful
that's just an
training session.
example. We've seen it all week. with
No,
her.
but
All of
while
them.
we were kind of sitting around getting ready, watching people do like the above and beyond, I'm like, I have no desire to be doing what you guys are doing. Like I want to do one workout, have fun. Like this is no longer fun.
I did a 10-minute AMRAP in my hotel this morning.
Yeah,
and I was
and
just
that's
like, I
like-
want to quit.
Yeah.
My own body weight.
Should this be 8 minutes?
Yeah.
Is that over program?
So what are you working on now in the gym?
We're surviving. We got a newborn. So we just did Bring a Friend Week.
you
for the
had your
second time.
baby shortly after.
It was the day before you.
Was it the day before?
Yep.
Yeah,
Day
winner,
before.
winner, chicken dinner.
I didn't have a cool photo of like
You know what?
the action
You're
shot.
not a doctor
but-
yet. You'll get there.
Yeah, so obviously we've got the newborn and another business. So
You
we're very busy.
got the full time the meal company.
Yep.
What's the name of your meal company?
Lean Feast.
Lean Feast.
Lean Feast.
Only in the Madison area, 20-mile
so,
radius.
So there's 5 nationwide. We're one of.
Man, you're a smart dude. But you got that going on. You got an affiliate that's less than a year.
Yep.
And a baby.
And a baby, yeah.
And
we
you can't have been
found
married
out,
that long either.
we've been married for a couple of years. We got postponed because of COVID.
Gotcha.
So we've been 2 years.
What'd you find out?
We were
She's not pregnant.
No.
All right,
We were looking at the space and pretty committed to sign the lease, and then like the week before that, we found out we were pregnant, and so then it was like, do we continue? Like this is crazy, and or maybe it was a little farther in front of that. We were looking at the space. Long story short, we were like,
Emma
we'll
Lawson
figure it out.
Said thank you. Yeah.
Ah, nice.
I think it might have been
talking
to
to
me,
me?
but
Yeah, it's
I
probably
don't
me.
know.
How are you enjoying
But
fatherhood?
It's amazing. I
Yeah.
love it.
Best
Yeah.
job in the world,
Yeah,
dude.
it's incredible, and you know it's long days and we're tired, but
if you want some
it's been so worth
parenting
it.
advice from Best Hour, don't talk to us. Talk to Pat Barber.
I was gonna say I didn't
He's
ask
got it
for it.
down. He's got it
4.
down.
He's
Yeah,
got
he
4.
knows what he's
Yeah.
doing.
So
But yeah, you were saying like,
just what are you working on now, right?
Yeah.
So like, obviously you're up and running. Like
Yes.
this is full function,
Yep.
full operation
Yeah.
speed.
My next big project for the gym is our branding, because we don't have a lot of it in here.
Right up there, big
Yep.
Mojo.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's just finding the time. I've been working with a graphic designer to do some cool stuff, and we'll get that up to kind of get our image in here so you can see it and feel it more immediate. But our slogan, our ethos is hard work, high fives, good vibes, and you see that on our
like it.
on our Instagram.
I like it.
My idea of a badass is not like the dude that intimidates you right when you walk in the door, but the person that's just showing up every day and working really hard.
I'm like
and
a badass
also
to this guy. I get
also
it. I get
You
it.
don't work
Go ahead.
hard, dude.
Say it if you want.
we'll see.
Yeah, for debate.
But the person that's the most welcoming person in the
Right.
gym, and they
James
hammer.
is jacked, dude. This guy,
Yeah.
Yeah.
James.
Oh yeah, he's a big boy.
he's big.
Saying you look big. Yeah. Let's put some weight on since he moved away.
Where'd you come up with the name?
Mojo?
Yeah.
So I've had a list of names on our business plan for years, and it was on it, but it was pretty far down for a long time. And we were actually looking at a different space that was more downtown, and it was like more urban, industrial, older building. And we just kind of thought of this branding, kind of like retro in there that would work really well. And Mojo popped out. And then we also realized it's now our initials, Morgan Ogle, J. Ogle. And
that's so funny.
So it kind of comes together, and we're like, oh, that's cool. And then when we found this space, we were already set on the name.
Was that the hashtag at the wedding?
Mojo?
Should have been.
No, I don't remember what it was.
Should have been.
We do weddings as well as affiliate coaches.
I don't remember much of the wedding. It was a good night.
Some of the best names are by accident. They're like, there was nothing behind it.
I'm surprised in 2022
that
it wasn't taken. That was the other thing. I was like, I can't believe it wasn't taken. And I actually had a guy that dropped in maybe 2 weeks ago. And I was like, oh, how'd you find us? And he was like, the name. I thought it was the coolest name any of the gyms around here. I'm like, sweet.
That would look so sweet up there. This because I love the retro vibe. The color. This color is like pops is very retro.
Yeah.
You spelled CrossFit wrong, but outside of that, you see it right, Fern?
Without
the double. It's not
on our
spelled
website.
wrong.
On our website, it is
capital C, capital L.
Yeah, it's capitalized.
Last one would not approve.
I know. I know.
But
it looks better.
No. It's well, listen, dude. You're busy, and we want to make sure that we get out of your hair, dude. But dude, I'm so glad we came here. Like, I'm just fucking proud of you, dude. Like, this is amazing. You put in the work. Yeah. It's very obvious here what you're doing, and I don't think that your trajectory is going to slow down at all, dude. Like, so well done.
Next year, if you're in the, because this is going to air after.
Yeah.
But man, we'll be back. Well, actually, we won't be in Madison next year.
Yeah, well, nobody knows. We're not in Madison. Nobody knows. Yeah.
Could be, but this place. Top 5.
Yeah.
Do you say top 5?
I mean, it's beautiful, dude. Like, I'm jealous.
He's not gonna say top 5.
Why won't you commit to top 5?
Top 10?
I don't like that you're forcing me into committing. No, but if you guys are in the area in Madison, you definitely should drop into Mojo. Anything else you want the listeners to know?
No. Check us out if you're in town. We'd love to have you.
Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And good luck to all the athletes. We'll see you guys as spectators, and then we'll go see you guys next year. We'll see you next time. Thanks for checking out this episode of the Best Hour of Their Day podcast. We appreciate you listening and choosing to have us help you in your passion for coaching and affiliate ownership. You can find more episodes just like this on all podcast platforms. If you're interested in learning more, you can reach out to us on any social media platforms, or you can visit www.besthouroftheirday.com to book a call. If you found this episode helpful for you, please share it so that we can help other coaches and affiliate owners to help build a bigger and stronger CrossFit community. Thanks for listening.